That's the perfect way to start this. Hello, everyone. It is another week of my home studio sessions, and this is chaos already.
I know.
love
I'm
this.
like, reel it in, Rebekah.
Yeah.
Come on, Kozak.
Or
Get it
you
together.
could like not reel it in too. To be kind of.
All right,
You
let
should
out some more
throw
lines.
up.
Here I go. I could throw up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another home studio session. I'm very, very excited this week because my newest song, River Styx, has just been released on all the streaming platforms. So if you want to right now, click pause on this video, go to your Spotify, go to your Apple Music, go to your Amazon Music, wherever it is that you listen to music, and make sure to listen to River Styx. If you don't want to do that, though, you can always make sure to stick around here for a little stripped down version of it. And this week I'm doing something a little bit different because I'm really, really, really excited to have Rebekah Jon with me in my studio. Thank you so much for driving all the way out here.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm glad I made it.
Me too.
It's a slight debacle this morning, but it's fine. Just a simple miscommunication.
We both said, let's meet in the studio. And
we were both referring to different studios. Neither one knew.
no.
Anyway, we're here.
I feel that though. We're here. We made it. We did it. Actually, that's kind of a perfect segue going into River Styx. And we're going to talk about it a whole lot more once we play the whole entire song for y'all right now. Hopefully we get it right. I feel like we could get it on the first try.
I feel like we could too, and all. Okay, yeah.
This is it. I can feel it.
Sun again, see the sun again. Yes, well, I don't know what I've been told. In the heat of the sun, well, a young man had died of cold. See, he died of cold. No, when I hear that boat a coming, yes, coming down the River Styx. It's well coming down. Doctor say now, I don't think I'm ever gonna have to come back this way. Back this way. Yes, well, he did say in a hushed tone, you better get ready for him to go. For him to go. You know when I hear that boat coming, yes, coming down the River Styx. Yes, and then coming down. Woo. Spectre say in a tongue I never heard before today. Yes, and he did say with a sideways mouth and made the clouds part as if afraid of the pitch. Afraid of the pitch. Well, now you see that tower there on the other side. That is the place that all you souls must reside. Well, forget your bags and leave your things. You were gonna come on a ride with me. On a ride with me. You know when I hear that boat coming, yes, coming down the River Styx. Whoa. boat coming down. Well, I hear that boat coming, yes, coming down, down the river. Yeah, dude,
Nice.
let's go.
That was fun.
Oh, I like that one a lot. That's my song called River Styx. That song has meant a lot to me over the years because it has not only changed meanings quite a bit, but it has just been such a fun song to be able to play with people that I love, with friends, and with other musicians, and it's been a blast to play it. So the whole entire song started out many moons ago. Started out like, I think 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Patrick Murphy was up. For those of you that know the guitarist Michael Fahey is the stage name for Patrick Murphy. Patrick Murphy is a friend of mine from college, and he came up during the winter several years ago when I was still living over at our family place over in Glen Arbor.
Oh, nice.
And right as soon as he got up, there was this huge blizzard that hit. And we were supposed to play a bunch of shows, but they all got canceled on account of snow. We ended up basically being snowed in to this cabin and to this sort of little home studio that I had built up in the attic there. And we would just spend all of our time playing music, drinking a lot of coffee, and drinking a lot of other noxious
Other spirits.
Other spirits as well. And we wrote a lot of music, but probably my favorite thing that we wrote was River Styx, and it was just the tune for River Styx at the time.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to jam and have something that was high energy but really simple to play with. So the chords kind of came while we were jamming because I love playing in drop D, and that open D, that D add 4 chord I love so much. So we were and it just started.
That's how
off.
it started.
That's
just
how it
like
started.
that.
Yeah.
That's insane to see like what it's become.
It's so
and that's
different
like
now.
how it began. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
just 2 little chords.
Yeah.
And we wanted to try and find to have a break somewhere in there so it wasn't just the same chords. So we just went to that 4, went to that G, but we
Yeah.
had to keep. Still have to keep that add 4 in there,
Yes.
and kept that groove going. That was the song for almost a year. It was just that. And 2.5 years ago, it was during the spring, so it might have been 2.5 years ago, I was playing with him out at Lake Ann Brewery, and we wanted to play that song because we had run out of repertoire. This is back before I knew very many songs.
Oh gosh, I don't miss those days when I'm like, maybe I could play that one and maybe I'll figure that one out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
I don't miss
yeah.
those days.
You're like timing everything, so you're like, will it get up to
Yes.
3 hours? I don't
Yes.
know. But thankfully, that song we drew it out into a 10-minute jam between
Oh,
the two
heck
of
yeah.
us. I just sort of started making up lyrics, and the thought of the River Styx popped into my mind, and we just went with it. I initially sang those first 2 verses, sort of not quite what they are today, but it had the same sort of like storyline. There were coins in my eyes. I just like passed away in a field, and then the other
Yeah.
one was like, it was like an old man passing away at home kind of thing. And then eventually at the end of the second one, I hit that A, and it just felt like, yeah, it just felt right.
Yes,
And,
the like perfect resolve.
and there's a
Yeah.
moment where we kind of look at each other after we done it, and we're like, oh, like that's it.
Hello. Yeah, so the first verse, that like was that like the first lines that came to you then? Like, I've got coins in my eyes. Did that just like come to you?
That first line, like the first half of the first verse, is actually the exact same as it was.
Nice.
Then I got
nice.
coins in my eyes, I look to the sky. I was just trying to like riff on things that could rhyme.
Yeah.
And those worked nicely, and I was later that night I was like, I've got to write it down because I'll forget it.
I really like that line. I've got coins in my eyes, I look to the sky, and then I don't think I'll ever see the sun again. I don't know. It's just like really good imagery. It creates already. It like sets you exactly where you are. So well done.
Thank you.
Well done, sir.
I do say, where's a hat I could wear?
There's one on a skeleton.
Why, thank you, sir.
My lady.
Look me in the eye. Oh yeah, so the song got written like that, and that was one of those songs that just developed as we were playing live. So it really only became an actual tune maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
After a summer of like playing it out at almost every show, making up lyrics for it, and finally finalizing something. Those of you that see me out regularly know I usually make all my musicians play that one. I usually play that song at every show just because it really establishes for the audience exactly what I'm about. There's like a lot of percussive stuff going on. There's a little bit of belting that goes on with that, but there's also little melodic parts, ton of harmonica.
Yeah.
And it's like a perfect way to just set the tone for a show.
That's the first song that you opened up with at the Writers Round, right, at Alley Taps?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a very good opener. Like you said, it tells everybody exactly who you are.
Yeah.
In such a strong way, too. There's no mistaking what you're about to hear, you know?
Get ready.
Yeah, buckle up or head on out.
Yeah. The last time I played that song at Alley Taps, actually, I opened with that song, and the girl that played after me at the Writers Round said, I'm just going to pretend that didn't happen. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like,
yeah. Oh my gosh.
I was like, no, we're all talented. We're all artsy. Please
Right?
don't. Like,
I know. Those kind of compliments, it's like it makes you feel good about yourself, but then also like, I think you and I are the same in that like we never want someone else to feel less than because of what we're doing. So it's like, thank you, and also you are so good too, and like please, like I'm gonna hype you up even more now. Like that's how I take it.
I feel like that's like such an important part of going to the songwriters in the round thing, and specifically just performing with other people in general, like having mercy and grace upon yourself for like if in case you ever make a mistake or anything like that, but also knowing that like you're just as talented as they are, and they probably made like 100 mistakes on their performance, and like the 100 mistakes that I'm about to make on mine don't really mean anything, because that's like the beauty of live music, because it's just chaos and fun.
Exactly.
And no one
in the moment.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to remember that like we can all kind of fall into that. Walking this line, even in life, it's like, I know for myself, it's like I just always want to make sure like I'm not becoming a person who I guess is just too comfortable. I don't want to be too comfortable in any place that I'm at. Like I always want to like have the idea that like I can grow, I can get better. Yeah. I don't like being up there when I'm like, too cramped and I'm touching the ceiling.
What kind of stages have you been playing on, Rebekah?
Very small ones.
They put me up in the rafters.
Yeah, it's basically Harry Potter's room under the stairs is where I primarily get booked.
This is like you know when you look up ADD in a textbook and they show like a picture of it? This is like a video version of that.
There's so many times in my life where I'm like, I don't have it. I don't have ADD. I'm fine. And then it's like, I watch something back and I'm like, girl, how long did it take us to get from A to B? How many different stops did we take?
River Styx was recorded in Nashville, Tennessee. I've had requests to record River Styx properly for like years now.
Yeah.
And I just haven't felt confident enough to do it yet.
Yeah.
And this past November, Will and Michelle from Charlotte Avenue Entertainment down in Nashville reached out to me asking if I would like to become one of their artists and asking if I'd like to be managed by them and to record a few songs down there with a Nashville producer and a Nashville band, which was terrifying because getting that offer out of the blue, it just seemed kind of sketchy and weird at the time. But I decided, what the heck, they both seem really nice, and I went on kind of a leap of faith and agreed to go down and record 2 songs down there. And you actually came down with me, and that was an amazing experience going down there. I was not ready.
Yeah.
I was not ready for that. Like walking into the studio, and I got introduced to all the players, and then we had Bryce Roberts. Bryce, I love you. He's about to have a kid.
Oh my gosh. I saw that actually. Congratulations,
That's really,
Bryce.
really cool. That's
Mazel
really cool,
tov.
dude. Well done.
Well done.
Well done. It's just way to
do
the things.
I
You're a
drink
good
my
producer, and Great engineer. And then Will was the producer on it. It was amazing because all of those guys had never really heard the songs before. They went in cold turkey and had me play the songs for them as they sat around in a circle in front of me and just had me play through 2 or 3 times. And each time, like, they'd raise their hand and ask me to stop and say, like, what's going on here? But they didn't have to do it that much. I think I paused like twice or maybe 3 times. They just wrote the whole entire song down on like some crumpled up pieces of paper. And then we went into the studio, and the first song we did was Highway Down, which released back in March. And that song turned out really, really well with them. Yes. I think that was like the second take just all the way through that they used. And River Styx took us a little bit longer. I think it took us 3 takes. It's just like
really wasting time.
Yeah. It's really burning through that studio time. And these are like
straight through takes. Like they're not like, okay, let's like chop it up. Like it was just like 3 straight through takes. So a total of 12 minutes. Yep. Basically.
It felt live because of that. And you'll hear it on the official track too. It feels live because really it is. We were like sitting down and kind of listening to it, and we adding a couple of overdubs. I think Chris added an organ last minute. I just felt the need during the chorus to have extra voices. Will was like, well, I could like call in another singer, or do you want to do it? And then there was this kind of moment where we all just kind of like looked at you, like slowly turned.
I was here for support.
Will like turns to me, he's like, you can sing, right?
Yeah.
And he's just like, get in there.
For real. And that like, honestly, like I think it's like similar, and where I felt like I'm not ready for this. Like I can't sing in this studio with all these people. Like I just felt so like imposter syndrome, I guess, but also like impressed by them. But then like that fear of like, what if I go in there and I don't know how to sing? Like what if I just forgot that this is what I do for a living? But there wasn't an option. It was like, no, you can sing, you can do it. Just go in there. And like there wasn't a moment for my anxiety to even be entertained. It was just like time to go. And I was like, what are you gonna do now, Rebekah? Choke? I don't think so.
You'd never sung on that song before too. And I was being very free with how I was singing each of those verses. So it was like, or each of the choruses. So it was like definitely it was an intense thing just to like, good luck.
Yeah.
You'll do great, kid.
There's a part of my brain that operates really well in that kind of structure of like, you don't have a choice but to like just do it well. And it's like, okay, let's like do it. Like I said, no time to entertain anxiety. And being in that room with those professionals and the level of professionalism, the level of skill, my mind was like blown. Like I was just like, oh wow. Like yeah, like this is possible and this is amazing. And it was a really awesome thing to be able to like share and experience with you. So
it was really, really fun.
Glad I was able to be there, and thank you for inviting me.
Me too, dude. I'm really glad. That was such a fun trip.
It was so fun.
Yeah. With all of the promo shoots that we've been doing to like start promoting all this and all that. Yeah. Thank you for helping me with all that, by the way.
Yes.
And thank you to your husband, Derek. We've been like throwing ourselves into the water and like putting coins in our eyes and like going out to public places and just acting like fools. We've been like really leaning into like sort of the original story of the River Styx, which is, it's a mythological tale of the river that souls have to be taken across before they can get to the afterlife. And there's a boatman who rides up and down the river, and the reason people were buried with coins on their eyes is so that they could pay the boatman to ferry them across to the other side. I love that. I think it's a really, really cool way of, I liked the sound of just sort of like making that like dark and stormy kind of place sound a bit more fun and hectic. And it honestly sounded like a river song, like a riverboat. But while I was down in Key West this past March for that tour, I had a really interesting moment. There was a gentleman down there who tipped me with a tall one. He was homeless, and he tipped me after a show I played, and I was like blown away by that. But he said that the song really spoke to him, and especially the last verse. He said, where you sing, so forget your bags and leave your things and come on a ride with me. And I was like, oh yeah, like it's kind of a reckless abandon thing. I always think of it as like, you know, leave your baggage behind and all that, because you can't take them with you when you go to the other side. And he said, okay, that's interesting that you originally wrote it that way. The way I heard it was that any troubles I'm going through in life, any baggage I have, any emotional baggage I have, I should accept that it's there, but not be crushed under the weight of it, because at any moment I could be taken to the river and that sort of thing, because the boatman is coming.
Yeah.
So with that knowledge of the boatman coming, there's going to be, you know, someone friendly on the other side who wants to take me, who wants to bring me there, who wants to accept me for who I am, and who wants to, like, you know, is ready for me. And he said, I found a lot of comfort in that, and it made me want to throw off my baggage. And he said, not like in an off myself kind of way, but he said like in like it made me worry a lot less about like being being liked and not like now. And I was like, oh my God, like that. I didn't even think about that when writing the song, but it makes an odd amount of sense.
Yeah.
Within it.
It's really cool to hear how your songs are heard through other people's ears, you know? I don't know if you, like, feel, like, very specific when you're writing. You're like, this is definitely what it's about, like, you know, for you, and it strikes that chord. But hearing how other people interpret it is really cool.
That's why River Styx is so special to me. Let me know down in the comments what you think of River Styx. How did it touch you? What does it make you think of? And make sure you like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Make sure to check in next week. I skipped last week's video because last week was crazy busy, but the home studio sessions will be happening every Friday from now on. So make sure to check in next week. And thank you so much to Rebekah Jon for joining me on this.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
I'll come back anytime.
Oh, dude, we'll have to make that happen.
Yes, it would be so fun.
If you haven't already, make sure you follow Rebekah Jon on her YouTube channel, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music. I'll have it down in the comments down below. But make sure we see each other again soon. I'm Luke Waltansky. Take care, friends.
Bye.
Bye.